100 grams.
What's down with it, y'all? My name's Steezy, and I'm a fashion designer from New Orleans, just putting on for my city.
So what neighborhood or what exact place are you from in New Orleans? What did you grow up at?
I'm from the 7th Ward, New Orleans, downtown. And but my dad and them from Holly Grove, so I grew up in Holly Grove and in the 7th Ward.
So what was your childhood like growing up in the 7th Ward from Holly Grove?
My childhood was really mostly like, from what I can remember, is like being around all my cousins and stuff like that, like, cause we all grew up in the same house. Like my grandma, she had four daughters, and all her daughters still live with her. My mama was like 17 when she had me, but our birthday is a week apart, so we really 16 years apart. So my mama's still at home, she's still in high school and stuff. So it was just like everybody just so into like all her sister's children. That's really like my brothers, cause like everybody staying with your mama in your mama room, and I'm staying with my mama in my mama room, so it's just like, and there's like 4 daughters, and each one of them had like 3-4 kids. So, and my mama just had one because she was the youngest.
Right. So all y'all a big family.
Yeah. It consists of nigga knock.
Right.
We used to play it on top of houses because all the houses so close downtown. Like we used to really get on top of the house and play it on top of them bitches. Like it was crazy.
So what high school did you go to?
I graduated from St. Aug High School in the 7th Ward. I kind of had to go there because when I first went there, they had the paddle and all that, and I was just bad. Like I got put out of every school I went to in New Orleans. They put me out of basically like New Orleans Parish School District, because all my cousins went to the same school, so we used to like beat people up every day, like, and just do crazy stuff, like, because we just like to have fun. We thought that was our fun, like, we'll watch State Property at home and watch all this crazy stuff they do on there, that we just try to react it, and that's what our life was. But the principal basically like told our grandma, we had a meeting with the whole family, like, y'all got to split everybody up. He can't come here no more. He can't come here no more. He can't come here no more. And my mama just took it upon herself, like, I can't keep having this. I'm about to move out my mama house, and I'm about to put you in Catholic school, like, and that's what it had went from there.
But so after high school, what was going on? What was going on with you after high school?
After high school, I had went to Southern University in Baton Rouge. But I was really trying to go to New York to pursue clothes. Like, I always knew I wanted to do clothes because I always just was fresh. Like, even when I was younger, like, everybody was playing and doing all this. If we gonna play fight, I'm taking off my shoes, my fresh G-Nikes, I'm taking them off, and then we gonna fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my polo shirt off and put it to the side. I got my white beat on, then we could play fight and all that. Like, I used to always make sure I'm just stay fresh, like.
So where did that come from for you? Like, just wanting to be fresh all the time? Like, what did that coincide?
My mama, my daddy always had money, but he wasn't no dope dealer. Like, my daddy just used to know how to do everything. Like, and that's where I get my creativity from. My daddy, like, he could basically see stuff in his head. My dad a construction worker, so like basically what I say, like, see stuff in his head, like he don't need no blueprint to build a house. Like, he could build a house without a blueprint, like, basically, and that bitch would be built perfectly. Like, he just a perfectionist and shit. So that's why I get like the clothes come from that, but the creativity and all that come from like what my dad, with like his point of view and like how he just viewed things. But he always had money. He kept me in the freshest Jordans, and I remember, like, I used to tell my mama, like, I ain't going to school. Like, back in the day, like, these young kids don't know about it, but back in the day, Jordans used to come out on like Wednesday, Tuesday, and stuff like that, and Jordan would play that night. So I tell my mama, like, I'm not going to school until I get the new Jordans, and I'm going to school with the new Jordans that came out that same day. You know what I'm saying? And my daddy will buy them for me, my mama, and him, so we all would just go to school with the newest Jordans on. And they were still in high school.
Release date to Saturday.
Yeah, they changed the release date to Saturday for kids like me. I wasn't going to school without the newest Jordans on, like, point blank period.
Right. So, basically, so that has just been a part of you since a kid, right?
Yeah.
So what made you just decide to like really jump into fashion?
Well, It was like I first started my first clothing line in like 7th grade. When I went to St. Aug, it was like everybody just used to be like, fly and stuff like that. Like everybody used to be fly at St. Aug, I ain't even gonna lie. But they used to take it serious. Like you could really disrespect somebody by saying like I'm fresher than you. So, by coming from the background that I came from about being like serious about my fashion and clothes and all that, like I'm just like, nobody ain't about to be able to tell me they fresher than me at school. Like, so I started my clothing line. The first clothing line I had was like Off Track. I had that in 7th grade. And like my people just was like, they was just into what I was into. So like I'm telling them like I want to do this, they'll put the money behind it. Like, all right, we'll give you the money to go do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or my dad, he'll be like, come work with me for 2 weekends and I'm gonna give you the money to go buy your clothes and you go sell them at school and all that. Do stuff like that. So that always made me an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur young, like, but based off my parents, they always just encouraged me to do what I wanted to do. And I always wanted to just sell something, like.
So I know being a creative, it also can be difficult as well when you don't have that business mind on the side of you.
Yeah.
So do you have somebody, or is it just you where you learn a lot of business acumen from? And what would you suggest? What would you tell people about building, business ideas and getting into understanding how to work a business?
All right. So basically, I always like wanted to have a business partner that's mainly focused on business because like the creativity takes a lot upon me to be able to do like for the thinker, all this type of stuff. Like I gotta be in a certain mindset and all that. But I do have somebody that just take care of like some of the business stuff, but all the most part, like I really take care of the business. Like so the person who take care of the business, like they'll do like, okay, we need to work on this business credit, or we need to work on trying to do this and that. But for the most part, I really do like a lot of all this business stuff like myself, like going to this place, networking. But that's just based off of experience. Like it just be secondhand to me now. Like you gotta do this, like, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody just gonna just basically take over what you got going on.
Right. So what, in your thoughts, what do you think is the number one business idea that everyone needs to have if they get into it, or what business action that they need to have in order to get some consistency in their own place?
The business action that they need to have consistency, I think that you should always think outside the box, like, and you should give yourself time to think, like really look into something and be like, all right, if I do this and what's the outcome of that, like, and it's not just that simple. Like you gotta really think, like, take your time out, separate yourself from everybody, and focus on what you need to do, like, you know what I'm saying? And that be a lot of things that people don't like to take a toll on, because I say like certain part, like I compliment on like what B Fresh said, like people pop pills and then go rap. Like I give myself certain amount of months out the year that I'm not even smoking, just based off smoking give me a different outcome on the world that I'm gonna be putting into the world. As far as when I'm not smoking, I'm doing something totally different. Like within my business, I'm doing something totally different when I'm not smoking. You know what I'm saying? But I give myself that type of pace because I'm always thinking like, all right, so if I'm smoking, then I know I feel like this and I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. But when I'm not smoking, I feel like doing this and I feel like doing that, but I might not think this creativity, I might not think about, so it's like hand to hand. And sometimes you need to do that. So like that takes me back to saying about taking your time out and really thinking, like, just really put your mind into what you needed to be at.
Dope. So it sounds like, you pretty much, have some good experience in understanding how this thing goes, and also keeping yourself afloat in what you're in with fashion and with business. Yeah. So when I keep going to this creativity stuff, because we also interview like a lot of other different type of artists, from painting, from photographers, anything like that. Yeah. And everybody kind of have this same thing of having to have the pressure of new ideas. Yeah. How do you feel like that affects you in having these new ideas?
It's crazy because I just was dealing with this like Before this last drop that I put out, I had put out something that I ain't really like that, and that's because like I had been in the city for like a couple months, you know, prior to this drop. So my thinking process was off. Like I'm not seeing enough, you know, like I'm not being in type of positions that's gonna give me the creativity that I need. So I'm like, man, you know what? I might have just go on tour. Like I might have just go take myself other places. So I had went to first I went to Houston. You know what I'm saying? And I spent time with a couple of my rap partners like Nico Bands. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's more creativity because he be on all type of stuff. Like he got all kind of stuff going on. Mm-hmm. So I get creativity from that. Then I'm like, you know what, man? I'm about to take it elsewhere. I flew to New York and I stayed out there for like 2 weeks. You know? And when I'm in New York, I really like to really focus. Like, you know, every day you could see something that might be an idea, or like just be riding a train, or you know, like stuff like that. Just be ideas and stuff. So I'm like, all right, I got what I needed out of New York, like, you know. So I'm like, I want to go one more pace, finish it off. Like I need just a little bit more inspiration and you know, like ideas. So I'm like, man, I'm about to go to Miami. So boom, I'm in Miami, you know, the yams and stuff like that. So like I got some stuff pertaining to all of that, like, and then that just keep all of my creativity. I just bottle it all in. So when I came back, I'm on the computer every day, Adderalls, Shroom, just getting it in, like, you know, getting everything that I got out of these 3 different places and putting it into my brand and trying to elevate it. You know what I'm saying? So now when I went to those places, I never did a pop-up shop in New York. I never did a pop-up shop in Miami. But when I was out there, I seen that I could come out here and do this and this and this, like, or I could go to Miami and do this and that. So like that's 2 more places that I'm about to add to my pop-up shop tour roster, like that I be doing every time I have a drop, like, you know.
So basically, it sounds like, to sum it up, is just exposure.
Yeah, you gotta get out of your comfort zone, like, and that's what I used to be afraid of, like when I was younger. Cause like when I told you I went to Southern, but I really was trying to go to New York. My mama was telling me, cause I graduated at 17, so my mom had a lot of say so in what I do. So she was telling me like go to New York, and that kind of, she was telling me go to Southern, and I wanted to go to New York, and I just listened to her like, I'm gonna just go to Southern, you know. So that kind of just like had me as far as like, okay, I'm not gonna take these huge leaps, cause my first one that I was trying to take, my mama just like discouraged that, you know. But she didn't want me to go out there, cause she like, New York is like a fast place. You 17, it's gonna eat you up,
trying
like,
to protect
you know. Trying to protect me. Yeah, that's my mama, like, you know. But I had to learn that you need to go do all this stuff, and you need to go here and there, cause that's what you like. From us being from New Orleans, people might say it's a crab in a bucket, but it's just a lot of stars in one place. So if you go to a whole nother place, you're gonna be the main attention, like, cause they're gonna be like, oh shit, you from New Orleans? Like, I go meet up with people, my first thing was I'm from New Orleans. Like, I make clothes. Like, oh shit, you from New Orleans? Well, let me see what you got going on. Ooh, you know, cause we are the originators of a lot of stuff. Like, and people down here don't realize that we originated a lot of stuff. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Facts. So, in your head, that's a good transition to what you think make New Orleans, New Orleans.
Like I said, like, everybody really, mostly stars out here, like everybody have a strong creativity mindset, and they just don't know what to do with it, like, you know. See, if they was to just ship us all off to different places and stuff like that, it'll just be like, people would never come back, or, you know, like. So, what would you tell your younger self with the information that you know now? Because besides you would leave earlier, because I know that's probably what you kind of had in mind. Yeah.
You would leave earlier. Besides that, I think everybody kind of knows that. What else would you tell yourself at a younger age?
Well, another one I had to like piggyback off of B Fresh, what he said, like, the females, bro, like I can honestly say that I was on the right path before I got a girlfriend. Like in college, like I was on the whole, like, some fire, like I had a plan. Then she just came on, you know what I'm saying, put me in a position of where, like, I feel like, oh, I love this girl, ooh, like, and then, like, you know, it's just a mindset of like, man, we just gonna chill, we gonna Netflix, watch TV, you know, have sex and shit like that, and that becomes every day. And then not only am I not focused on what I got focused on, now I'm taking care of you. Like, I'm paying your phone bill, I'm putting gas in your car. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to do, I'm doing it for you. Like, you my real child. So it's like, that take a toll on you. Like, that really take a toll on you. So that's one thing that I tell myself. And then the second thing I tell myself is, don't be afraid to get out and just drop. Like I said, if people in New Orleans get dropped off any kind of way, just don't be afraid to try to make something happen. Like I was always afraid to go to these different places because I'm like, man, nobody ain't gonna know me. I ain't gonna be able to get no hoes like that. I ain't gonna be able to sell my clothes like that. You know, just like, cause I wasn't really, like, I know all this stuff about like creativity and all that, but I wasn't as far as like social like that until I got to college. Like, I ain't really like to be around other people because it was like with my family, like I was telling you, all of us stick together. Right. It's like, these the loyalest people. And then I have my daddy in my ear like, you don't need all them friends. Just one or two friends, your cousins and them, and that's it. Right. Like, so I wasn't really on that social kick like that till I got to college and everybody just all in my face and all this all day. So I just had to just get into that, you know.
Dope.
What's the name of your brand now? Like, you do all the designing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I do all of the designing for my brand. My brand is called LAofficial.us. And I wanted to have a name like LA Official because, like, you know, coming back from New Orleans, like, I'm gonna bring it all back, like LA Official. Like, this is the official fashion of Louisiana. Like, the official, like, that's why I be coming so hard. You know what I'm saying? Because when I go to these different states and present it, I'm from New Orleans. Like, this the LA Official. Like, the grand, the holy grail, and I'm gonna give it to you like that. I do all my designing myself. You know what I'm saying? This design right here, basically, I had collab with one of the designers, like one of the New Orleans designers that do a lot of work for New Orleans. But the way we had collab was kind of funny. Like I had just got out of jail. I ain't had no computer and all that. And I knew the idea that I want, but I ain't have a computer or Photoshop or nothing to put it together. So I had met up with him, and then we had did it in my partner's store. 21 Rich. I had linked up with Vesh. Shout out to Vesh. Somebody actually paid for the session. Like, so when I got out of jail, Vesh hit me up like, man, somebody been paid me for to link up with you and stuff like that, man. We need to get on this and do this. So when I came out of jail, I linked up with Vesh, and then we created this. And then Vesh like, I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm like, man. So this is my first step on, like, I'm about to be on a whole nother level. And I'm like, Vesh, like, what you think I should, like, how you think I'm gonna be able to go about this? Like, he like, man, just put in your groundwork and come back and just do it, like. And that's what I did. But the crazy thing about it is, I was going down a whole nother type of route, bro. Like, and that's the crazy thing too. Like, my whole life is like in two different places. Like, I got two different separate lives. Like, one life, I got whole other stuff going on where I be going to jail, be dealing with, and that's the product of New Orleans. Like, I'm a product of these streets. Like, I can't hide that. At the end of the day, I can't hide it. Like, I'm a product of New Orleans streets. It get you into a lot of stuff. Like I said, like my cousins and all that, they growing up and like we was getting into these fights. These fights turn into carrying guns. The guns turn into shooting niggas. The shooting niggas turn into killing niggas, and they won't retaliate and all kind of, you know. So it's like, my best friend had set me down, India, and she actually want to do clothes too. And this been my best friend since I was like in 7th grade. So this is my real friend. So when I got out of jail, she like, man, I don't like the way it's turning out. So I got a gift for you. I got a plug, and I want you to like sit down and work with this plug and give everything up that you got going on and focus on this because you have a talent and you're gonna make it. Like, and then ever since then, I was doing what I was doing for like a couple months, and then I just listened to my best friend, and then I just did this, and I started going. Like, once I dropped this, I had dropped it back in the 21 Rich store where we first created this design. All this right here, we went back to not the loyalty club. We went back to the 21 Rich store, and it sold out the first day. Like, the whole thing, like, it sold out, and I was charging high. I'm like, man, these people not about to buy this. Like, it sold out. I was charging $250 for the whole fit, and then it was extra $50 for the shirt, so it was $300 really. You know, so it had sold out, and that motivated me. Like, I'm like, all right, like it could go far, like, you know what I'm saying? And then ever since then, I just been trying to focus on that. Like,
So, in the common denominator I got out of that was basically somebody on your side that could see something in you.
yeah.
How important do you feel like that is for everybody to have?
It's very important, but at the same time, it take a lot on you because, like, every day I wake up, I be like, man, I got a lot of people that I gotta, like, you know, put on for, like try to make it and be successful for, because like not only do the people that I know, like my little sister and all that, my little sister make clothes, and like my best friend, she make clothes and stuff like that. My mama and all them look to me like as for inspiration, like, you know what I'm saying? So waking up and having that to deal with every day. Besides that, you got people that you don't even know from coming up in New Orleans that look at you like sometimes I go through my views and all that, and there'll be these young dudes that don't even follow me but watch me every day, like every single day, and I just be looking at them. They be having little clothing lines and they be young entrepreneurs and all that, and I don't even mind it. I be like, all right, like this is what I need to do, like you know, like I need to put on for the city and give it like a like something for them to want to do more, like inspire people that I don't even know, like, you know.
Dope. Also, that's another thing that we ask is about a New Orleans story that you may have, or just an experience that only could happen in New Orleans that you could share.
A New Orleans story, like
experience in New Orleans that's only could happen in New Orleans.
Man, what I'll probably say would be some crazy ass shit. Like,
whatever.
Man, all right, so me and my cousin and stuff, we was in the East, and we was walking to the Winn-Dixie right by Reed, you know, and my cousin had some stuff going on, and like they was beefing with these dudes over these girls. Like, well, they weren't really beefing. My cousin, the dude was just mad that, like, my cousin was messing with these girls and all that. So we coming out of Winn-Dixie, and we walking, we got like so many groceries and stuff like that, and I'm the youngest little one, like I'm like probably like 5 or 6. Man, these dudes come up to us, and they put out a gun like, man, whoa, what y'all was talking about earlier, woo. So they all ran, everybody ran. And the funniest thing ever, like a couple of my cousins like hand me bags and shit. I'm the youngest one, still trying to keep up with the bags. I ain't even drop them, like, you know. But that's some real New Orleans shit, like, cause our city, like, you know, like our city is just one of a kind, bro. Like, some crazy shit always going down in this bitch. Real talk.
Right. Y'all good? Straight?
Oh, I could give a more positive one too.
What you got?
I'll probably say, let me see. Ask me the question again.
What New Orleans experience have you had that could only happen in New Orleans?
All right. Ooh, that's a tough one. If we gonna go on, like, you know. Yeah, a lot of stuff happens down here. So I'll probably say just like I'll piggyback off of what B Fresh said about Mardi Gras. You know, Mardi Gras be so turned every year, and like this was like our first year of getting on the white side, like Amelia, turning up, drinking with bottles and all that. Like, you know, we had never been introduced to that because we was always on the side by Wendy's. Well, you always had to run every 5 minutes because somebody either shooting or fighting and stuff like that. So like once we found out about, you walk down and you get to St. Charles and it's just like partying, and you know, you just more free. Like, you don't have to really look over your shoulder. You could drink, have fun. You might have all kind of stuff going on, and then after we'll have a party right down the street, walking distance. You know what I'm saying? And that just be the great times. Like when, and that basically for Mardi Gras, let the good times roll. When we first found out about me, that's when I'm like, let the good times roll, for real.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Another question?
Well, I mean, just piggybacking off of that, what would you tell you now that you see that they watching you? What advice would you give them?
The advice that I give to you is, I'll probably say, focus on yourself. Like, because what B Fresh was saying, like social media and all this, like kind of kind of like messing up the youth and all that. Like one thing that I really do and I make it my business to do is focus on myself. Like, so a lot of stuff that people be having going on, like those social media and all that, I'm blind to all that. Like that's why I don't get on Twitter and stuff like that, because I don't want to corrupt my mind with other people's drama. You know what I'm saying? So focus on yourself, and that way it'll keep your headspace open enough for you to figure out what you need to figure out, basically.
Oh, so tell everybody where to find you at, follow you at, and even purchase your stuff.
Steezy Easy on everything. I'm the first with that name. LAofficial.us, that's my website. And that's big. Oh, LAofficial.us on Instagram too, you know.
Only in New Orleans.